When you ask people who their favorite video game character was when they were a kid, they usually say Mario or Sonic, but when I was a kid, I was into Wario. There was something about his personality that just made him really stand out. He wasn't trying to save people or be a hero, he was just about getting rich any way that he could, and I loved it. Every Wario game usually starts out with Wario finding some get-rich-quick scheme, and that's basically it. He's in it for himself, and maybe as a kid that's why I liked him. He was really different. He wasn't necessarily evil, he just didn't want to get involved unless he'd get some coin out of it. The selfish attitude, the general disregard for others around him, and the greed factor made him so different than Mario. Every Mario game he has to save a princess, or possibly the entire universe. But with Wario, he had his own goals in mind. He didn't follow what other people did, and that's what made him great. Back to Wario Land 4. Quite possibly one of my favorite games ever made. I can still remember the first time I played it, and it was the first game I played when I got my Game Boy Advance. That distinct Nintendo charm, but something was different. Weird music, enemies that change color when you hit the ground, and different colors mean more coins when you kill them. A ghost whose nose is the key you need to get into the next level? What? And the first boss is a giant eggplant. Guys, the first boss is a giant eggplant. I'm not really sure how I feel. I ask these questions now, but back then I kind of just went with it. For one reason or another, I don't know, kind of just got it, you know? The game's story is once again pretty much the same as all Wario games. Wario reads a newspaper telling of a pyramid with many treasures inside, and never really satisfied with the wealth he already has, he drives off to find the pyramid only to fall into a bottomless pit, where the game starts. The basic mechanics are jumping, smashing into enemies, picking up and throwing projectiles, collecting money, puzzle pieces, CDs, and the rosy-cheeked ghosts with key noses. The way to beat the stages involve collecting all the puzzle pieces to fight the boss in each world and getting the ghost key for each level. Once you reach a certain point, you come across this blue frog thing, and once you jump on it, a countdown starts, and you have to get back to the beginning of the stage where you first entered. By the way, the music that starts playing when you do this is still the scariest thing I can think of. Now the interesting thing about all Wario games, or at least most of them, is if he gets hit by a certain enemy or object, he won't take damage, but in fact, he'll change form and have a unique ability. And I really like this mechanic because it can allow for some really interesting level design. Stung by a bee, you can now float up into the air. Fed an apple, you are now incredibly heavy. Hit by a mallet, you can jump really high. Set on fire? You're on fire. The CDs you get in each stage are actually their own unique and usually really weird song. An interesting thing you can do with the money you collect is play mini-games that net you special bonus coins, and you can use these coins for items that let you weaken the boss by a few hit points. They're actually pretty useful. Honestly, Wario Land 4 is just a game that reminds me of a simpler time when I was a kid. I could easily get lost in the game's beautiful and strange world. When I play it today, it can help bring me out of the dumps because it reminds me of my childhood. We all have that one game that can brighten our days, and for me, Wario Land 4 fits the bill perfectly. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you guys next time.